Hi, I'm Carlos Santana.
I'm Cindy Blackman Santana.
I'm Diane Strancioni.
And I'm Jerry Jampolsky.
And we're so happy to be here with you. We'd like to share some of the things we learned since the last time we saw you. It's been pretty interesting what's been happening globally with Mother Nature shaking up herself. And we feel like it's a good time to share some of the things that we have arrived crystallizing for ourselves. And with the year 2012 arriving in the subject about the end of an era or the end of time or the end of something. So we kind of want to address some of that with info.
Yes. Seems that the period that we're coming to is a shift that is going to take place in consciousness rather than more of a physical, okay, we've reached 2012 and now something has happened to the earth or something has happened here or there. But to me it seems it's a shift in consciousness and a shift in heart and in how we view ourselves and each other.
I think I'll add to that, Cindy, that there are so many things physically happening in the world. As you mentioned, Carlos, right now there's tornadoes, there's tsunamis, so many things that the earth is acting up. Mother Nature is really on the wild right now. We know that there's potentially an axis shift of the planet. So that could be interpreted many different ways. You know, it could be interpreted as a disaster, as the end of times, etc., as some have interpreted it. But many more have interpreted it, and I think in our consciousness, we're looking at it as a metaphor. The end of an era, yes, as you said, Cindy, the end of a consciousness of illusions. Illusions about ourselves, about the world that we see, how we see our neighbors, our nations, the earth itself. And it's an opportunity because it's all about choice. We have choice in this as to how we approach it. And the fact that we can actually decide that the shift is going to be internally innate, because we are the bulk species on this planet now, and how we think, that's how it will go. And each of us has the power within us, which is what Architects really celebrates, the ability to be able to choose, once again, the consciousness we want to have. And that we choose a consciousness of enlightenment, a consciousness of letting go what no longer serves us, a consciousness of letting go of the illusions about who we think we are, and remembering and releasing the veil about who we actually are, that we are part of everything. We're part of each other. We're part of the planet. We're part of what created us.
I think since Architects of New Dawn began, and we look at things today, that there is a tremendous feeling there's got to be another way. There has to be another way of looking at the world. There has to be another way of looking at ourselves. And Architects of New Dawn has attracted like-hearted, like-minded people to say, I want to make a difference, and I don't want to have the past tell me what the future is going to be. So I think there's tremendous inspiration right now of new beginning, of like-minded people wanting to shift their consciousness and say, this world of the ego is filled with fear and fight and anger and what we think is the enemies needs to be looked at differently. And it's a time that we see everyone really as our Siamese twin, to really see that what we see out there is a reflection of something in ourselves, and that when we want to have a sense of compassion and understanding for another person, what Bishop Tudu said has become much more alive, and that is there can be no future without forgiveness. And to me, this is an exciting time where we all can play a part and join each other and say, let's join our hearts with each other and say that there is another way. And I can start with myself. Each of us can make a difference in contributing to the oneness that we all are and healing this illusion that we're separate from each other.
Yes. I want to visit the part where this angel said to the other angel, do you know what I like the most about humans? And the angel goes, what's that? Because when things are at their worst, the best of them come out. Here in San Francisco in '89, when this incredible earthquake hit, we saw something that it was very tangible. Everyone became equal, and everybody was helping. Everybody was conducting traffic. Everybody was helping people. Everybody was healing. Everybody was rescuing. Everybody being of service to one another. And it feels like after, because you feel very helpless when there's an earthquake hit of that magnitude, you feel like a little ant on an elephant. You know that you don't have any power all of a sudden. It's taken away from you. And all you can do is just let it pass, you know. And then what happened right after that was that we had the courage to have compassion. We had the courage to go and to rescue people from fires, rescue people from falling freeways, rescue people from the Bay Bridge falling down, assisting and helping people. So what happened with Katrina and tsunami in Japan and Haiti, it seems like to me like we're becoming more consistent, something that angels like about us. We're becoming an army of one family instead of an army of defend, protect, and attack. We're becoming an army of feed, heal, and bury. You know, and those are good news to me because I love to always celebrate as much as possible the Berlin Wall coming down, Mandela being free. You know, milestones where all of a sudden humans are able to get over themselves, get over the reality of the illusions that she said. So for me, arriving at 2012, it seems like we're becoming something that we can be proud of ourselves in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, and we can live more with courage and compassion than the same merry-go-round guilt, shame, judgment, condemning, fear, which has been so unproductive and so predictable and boring at this point. This new energy of having the courage to offer compassion, the courage to do what the American Indians have been saying since the beginning, to become one with pristine lakes, so we can say that. Because, you know, we're all going green all of a sudden. We're all beginning to go, what does going green mean? It means caring not only for you, but caring for life, people, and the planet. So that's what I've been looking at lately, is how we have no choice now but to really accept that we are each other's people. And that to me is inspiring. Out of all this chaos and pain and suffering, something beautiful is coming out of it. So we're giving birth before our eyes to a new us that has more light, more love, less fear.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's beautiful, Carlos. I think that's the essence of what 2012 is representing to us here at Architects, and I think to so many other viewers. This year ahead is very exciting, and soon we'll be making announcements about a number of events, beginning with just the very beginning, New Year's Eve, going all the way through to December 21st, 2012, in Mexico. So we're very excited. We'll be making those announcements shortly.
Love is the answer to every problem that we face. And when we awaken to that realization, things become much more simple in life. Much easier to love than to hate. And why we find ourselves at points of time not being compassionate, it's because we're holding on to these judgments about other people, or holding on to the self-condemnations of things we've done in the past. So the whole aspect of taking responsibility for the thoughts we put in our mind, that's the one thing that we can change. We can choose to change every thought we put in our mind and realize the thoughts and attitudes we have create our reality. And as more of us are beginning to say, your attitude is everything, and my attitude is everything, we are very careful about what thoughts we put in our mind. And we start to wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to be committed not to have any thoughts or actions that are going to be hurtful to another person or myself. Because we shoot ourselves in the foot a lot of times when we're holding judgments against ourselves. So I think it's a wonderful time to be here on planet Earth and to play a part in this new beginning where people are focusing on this new beginning where light can come in to take the darkness away.
You know, and it's spreading too, because just what you were mentioning about people helping in those when there were chaotic times here with the earthquakes. I saw that same thing in New York during the blackout and also at 9/11. And it was amazing because a city such as that, where people usually say, "Oh, it's a cold city, it's a hard city, and nobody cares about anybody." I saw this sharing, loving, really caring vibe that happened, and everybody was doing it. You know, shop owners, you know, during the blackout, were cooking all their food. They couldn't keep it anyway, so they would cook the food and give it away to people. People were barbecuing on the streets, and just there was a camaraderie, and it was actually fun. And in 9/11, at that period, people were helping one another, you know, and showing general concern and genuine concern and care. Giving rides where needed, food. We were in the neighborhood giving whatever articles the local fire department needed because they were going directly down to the site to work. So we were giving, as a neighborhood, we were giving gas masks and food and, you know, different things that they needed, you know, water, bottles of water so they could take stuff and supplies with them. So it's, you know, it's certainly a vibe and a spirit and a feeling that's happening, not only locally, but I think everywhere. So this is the coming of an era, coming of an age.
So what I hear you saying, Cindy and Carlos, also is that these incredible disasters in now Joplin, Missouri, and towns just being wiped out, that as horrific as they are, there's something about the creation of this that brings out the very best of us, and in every way. And it becomes sort of a lasting trait, because once you have experienced that sense of compassion for others, that you'll never be the same. It becomes a part of you. And, you know, New York, my hometown, New York is such a microcosm of the whole world that all these different nationalities, all these different cultures, that they all rose to the occasion. And it is a great city. And that just is, again, a metaphor for us to say, well, look, we can really do this. The world doesn't have to be based on war and scarcity and violence.
And I don't believe we have to have a tragedy in order to be compassionate. I think we can be compassionate every day. And compassion and love and peace and kindness and tenderness are all part of the same ball of wax. That's who we are. We're all born with PhDs in love. It's only our judgments and our negative thinking that separated ourselves from thinking who we are. We don't have to earn love. We are love. And we don't have to trade love, but we know that when we give love, we receive it. And not evaluate whether this person is lovable, and to believe that everyone is forgivable. And when we do that, we begin to create a new consciousness, and the world we see begins to shift. And we begin to be kinder to ourselves and everyone else every second of the day. And that's what this is all about, to be excited, to be able to not only inspire ourselves, but inspire each other and learn from each other in this way. And learn that children really are the teachers, and little child shall lead them. Because children are much more forgiving. They don't hang on to judgments. They don't even know how to spell time. They live only in the present. And I think we have a lot to learn from kids, and let them be our teachers.
So this is what it's all about. It's, reclaiming our innocence, our purity, reclaiming, shedding like a skin, fear. Thank you for tuning in. This is something that we love sharing with you. This is what we feel. This is what we think. This is how we operate. And we invite you, to, if you have comments, we'd like to see how you feel, how your consciousness is guiding you to be into a place where you can create a masterpiece of joy out of your life. Peace.
Let's not forget that music is a great part of this new transformation.
Thank you so much.